Hello and welcome back to Alt Majority. I am Shay.
Hi, I'm Shannon. Thanks so much for coming into our channel. Today, we are really excited to be talking about one of our very favorite subjects, which is how to manifest.
Woohoo! I know, I
Yes,
feel like we
yes.
can't talk about this enough. On our channel, you'll hear
Right.
us talk about different paths of spirituality, manifestation, law of attraction, anything weird and wonderful in the universe that's going to help you get to your highest timeline.
Right. So we are all about really just trying to live our best life, trying to live our highest timeline. So we started this channel really just to talk to each other, to talk to our friends and family, to talk to you,
Yeah.
really about how to do that. How do we go about doing that? So, like I said, one of our very favorite things we want to talk about is manifesting and manifestation, and really the process of getting what you want in life and
Yes.
creating and co creating your reality with the people around you.
Okay, I want to start somewhere. You just said something about like living our best lives. We're trying to get to where we're living our best lives, right? But sometimes it doesn't feel like we're living our best life, right? Sometimes in these pockets of moments, they don't feel the best. So I kind of just want to start there and talk about how we're all just humans going through human things. And so it might not always feel like you're living your best life, but how can we switch our perspective so that we can feel like we're living our best lives, even in those moments that might feel hard?
Yeah, no, that's a good starting point because we've definitely all had the moments where we feel like we are not living up to what maybe we thought we were going to have in life, or is this really all there is, or is this really what I'm supposed to be doing here on earth? It's just like feeling like crap, or just worrying all the time, or did I just come here just to go to work every single day, make money? Like, what is it? And it definitely does come down to perspective at the end of the day. It honestly does. Like, you can decide how to view your life. You can decide how to perceive what's going on, whether or not it's good for you or bad for you. You can decide to be happy and joyful really in any moment. And that's really what we're talking about, is how to go about creating a reality so that regardless of what your outside circumstances, that you have that inner fire and that inner ability to just rise above everything and create the life that you want regardless of what's happening outside of you.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Everything for you, everything that happens to you is legitimately for you. So you get to decide if things are happening to you or if things are happening for you. And I think that's a super um, key part, that perspective change right there. When you switch to things are happening for me, even if they don't
yeah.
seem like they are something that is good, they still are
Yeah.
something good if you choose to see it that way. I was listening to Master Sri Karshana yesterday, and he was explaining 3 ways to speed up your manifestations. And one of them is to stop focusing, because right, our focus is something that's super important, especially in manifestation and throughout our life in general. But it's to stop focusing on the negative energy. So if you
Yes.
are talking to your friends all the time about all of your troubles, well, then that vibration is sitting in your body, and then that's what you're going to get from the outside world. So it's that,
Yeah.
it's all about the perspective change right there. And another thing
Yeah.
he said was, stop gossiping, right? Because that
Yeah.
is a lower vibration. And what you want to do when you manifest, right, is to live in the vibration of whatever it is that you're trying to call into your life. Regardless if you
Right.
have it now or not, you have to live like you have it. And so those
Right.
are
So
the
if you're
2 ways.
talking bad about people, you're literally calling in bad vibrations to yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So those are just 2 ways, right?
And
And
what was the
that is,
third?
I don't remember the 3rd. I
I
honestly
I'm
don't.
not
Did you
I
see
like
the
interrupted
video?
you. Sorry. I do remember seeing it. I don't exactly remember what he said after that, but I do know it is about the vibration.
Yeah.
It really is about the vibration that you're sending out. And that's part of why we keep saying this over and over and over and over, about how it's just the way you look at it. It's your perception. You get to decide how you look at things. And so those ways we go about interacting with the world really end up being the things that create our reality.
Yeah.
They truly are. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? So if I'm a person that spends a lot of time in gossip, for example, what's that going to bring me in my life? What is that actually going to end up doing? Am I going to take that moment of um, very um, temporary but real power I get when I start to talk that way? Because let's be real about it. People do that because they're getting a payoff. Because
Right.
what you do is you talk about the other person to compare yourself about how you're not that. You would never do that. You would never say that. You would never wear that. Oh my goodness, what is that person doing? Can you believe? It's all of those things
Well,
that
and
you're just comparing.
for connection to others too, right? That's a lot of
Yes.
gossip, you know?
It truly is. So I'm going to get a little payoff if I'm going to make myself feel so much better in this comparison. I'm going to bond with you on a little bit because you're going to agree with me, and we get this us versus them thing going, and you get some little bit of a power surge out of that.
Yeah.
How does that come back to you? Honestly, how does that come back to you? Here's one way: that person that's sitting there trash talking everybody else with you, just do understand that your name is in their mouth as well.
Yeah.
They're talking to everyone else about you in that same way.
Yeah.
They are. And you're probably doing the same. And just that's the vibration you're putting out. That's what you're going to get back.
Right.
And that's 100% part of it. I think the other thing is you talked about like where do we focus our energy?
Yeah.
Maybe. And that's another big part of it is like where are we focusing our energy? So when we talk about really manifesting and how the law of attraction works, we've said it over and over. You are the vibration of what you get what you are, all of those things. But here's the thing, like we've talked about all these tips and tricks and tools to get what we want, whether I'm going to do journaling, or whether I'm going to make a sigil, whether I'm going to, whatever it is that I'm going to do to get what I want. The question is, am I truly able to receive it? Am I handling and accepting the mini manifestations that I'm getting along the way? Or am I saying to myself, that's good enough? I'll just take that. I'll
Yeah.
just take that smaller piece of thing because I got that. I really want that big thing, but I'm really not sure I can get that. Seems like an overreach. So I'm just going to take the smaller part of it. I'm not going to go for that anymore. I mean, what kind of vibration does that put out then? And I just want you to consider this. We've talked about boundaries before, and we've talked about, hey, I want to have these particular things in my life. I got to be the vibration of it. But the moment I accept anything less than that vibration that I'm looking for, now I've settled and I'm going to get less.
Yeah. And that's your
That's
signal
it.
to the universe. And can you give us some real life examples of this, of what this might look like?
Yeah. So let's say I really want um, a promotion at work, and there's a job I'm going for it. And I know it's maybe the little reach for me, and maybe it's a little out of my comfort zone, but I really want the promotion. I really could use the money, and I'm gonna try to manifest that. I'm gonna try to do that, and I'm gonna do all the things behind it. Okay, so time comes along, and I'm offered maybe a temporary promotion in another part of my company. And it's going to fulfill what I need right now because it's going to let me maybe to have that promotion for a year, but it's not guaranteed, for example. But it's going to fulfill what I need right now. And I say to myself, there's my manifestation. I got it. I got offered that promotion. So I go ahead and I take that temporary promotion. And a couple weeks in, sure enough, that other job that I really wanted opens up, but I can't even go for it. I can't even apply for that job because I've taken this temporary one over there. I've settled for this one.
Right.
So I can't even get that one now. There's one. Okay, let's just take this into like the personal realm. I really want to have a healthy, happy relationship, and this is what I want. And I want to vibrate that out. And this is what my expectations are in a partner. This could be just even a friendship that you're going for. And these are all the criteria of the things that I want to manifest in this person in my life, this person I'm going to pull into my life. Okay. And one day I meet somebody and they don't have quite everything that I've been looking for, but they tick a lot of those boxes off. So I'm willing to sort of look aside at the other parts that don't quite match up. And I'm going to say, you know what, universe, I think I got my manifestation. There's the person that looks like 70% of what I asked for. I'm going for it. And what do I miss out is the person who's actually 100% matching with me. I don't even meet them because I've lowered my standards down to go for this other person
Well, and
that
put your
doesn't quite.
attention and focus elsewhere.
Yes, I put my focus elsewhere and I've taken my eye off that. And we do this on and on and on, over and over and over in our life. We settle. We say, this is good enough. And so the universe is watching all the time. And then the universe is like, okay, that's good enough. Okay, great. Done.
And
What's next?
I just want you to ponder, listeners, what would life look like if you never settled? If you,
What if you never gave
what if you never
up?
did? You
What
know,
if you never ever settled?
what if you only received the exact thing that you wanted and you didn't settle for anything less than that? That
Yeah.
seems like
And
a
this,
hard boundary that you are co-creating with the universe in that moment. Hey, universe, I am not going to settle for anything less than what exactly it is that I am looking for.
right. Anything less because the universe wants to give you exactly what you're asking for.
Well, and
It's
the
prepared
universe,
to hand.
it wants to give you the vibration that you are.
Yes, 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 yes. That's what it is. It's prepared to do so. Also, it's prepared to give you less if that's what you're willing to take. And quite often universe will give a little test to you to say, are you going to stick in with this? Are you going to follow through with this? Are you going to run through the finish line or are you going to let this thing stop you? Are you truly prepared for the manifestations that you want? Are you truly ready to receive them? And that's where I say again, sometimes we're not even ready because we're willing to take less. We're willing to settle for less. We're willing to just tell ourselves, I'm not quite worthy of that thing. And that's why I didn't get that. That's
Hmm.
why I didn't, meet that person or even that friend that I'm looking for. I really want a good friend and I never met them because I've told myself, well, I'm not that likable or probably no one would want to be my friend. And that's the subtle message I might be giving myself, blocking my manifestation out. And or I get friends, looking for some friends, I find friends, but they're not good friends,
Right.
right? And universe is like, well, you said you wanted people that you vibrated with, and we have a lot in common, and I'm almost there. But no, turns out this is not actually where I should be going.
Which
And
leads,
I'm not willing. And very often I'm not willing to leave that. I get attached. Number one, I don't want to hurt. It hurts to detach from any situation. I'm not just talking about people. What if it's that job? What
yeah,
if it's that comfort zone area?
yeah,
That's what I really want to be able to grow out of. And
yeah,
that's really the magic of manifestation is being willing to push yourself just outside that boundary of comfort.
yeah,
And when I can do that, and I'm willing to do that, there's another way my manifestations are coming a lot faster.
yeah.
But
Those,
but
those,
again, I can't settle. I need to push out past where I'm slightly uncomfortable going
right.
to be able to get what I want.
Well, and that's how you grow is going through those uncomfortable situations, right? I think about the times where I feel like I've had quantum leaps in my consciousness and in creating my life, and it's been moments of discomfort, hard moments of
Yeah,
discomfort that don't feel
yeah,
good in the moment, right? But it's like a sweet
right.
release afterwards. And this just
Yeah,
this you sent me yesterday, and I've been pondering this ever since. Can't ask for more if you're settling for less. Because of everything you just said. Everything you do is a signal to the universe saying, I'm accepting this, I'm not accepting that. Right? So if you're settling for less and saying, hey, I'm accepting this, the universe takes the path of least resistance. It's going to say,
yep,
okay, the less I have to do, have fun, good luck.
right. It's like
What if you
fulfilled
did?
your order. It's like your order's fulfilled. You drove off and you didn't check your fast food bag before you left, got home, no fries.
Yep.
And it's like, well, you accepted it. Or, like, mm,
Double check.
that's part of that's part of growing though. Like you were saying, it's part of growing. So really, like we've said this too about why do we even try to manifest things? Because we're trying to get a feeling.
Yeah.
We're trying to get the feeling of what we think we'll feel like when we have that thing. So we can't get to it if we're not willing to really put our focus in, put our attention into the energy of what we're trying to accomplish. And that is not just my mental energy, but my actions, my full focus. I want to have this. I want to do this. That's the job I want, that promotion I want. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to be utterly relentless and I will never accept no. And I'm going to
Yep.
keep going and going and going and going and going until I have what I want. It looks like that. And that's part we say, well, then you work for it. Sure. But also, like I manifested it because I got to the vibration I needed to have it.
Yeah.
And so that does take work on our part. The universe doesn't just hand it over. It doesn't work that way. We actually have to have some energy exchange here if we're going to get what we're looking for. So that's where, how are you handling the smaller manifestations leading up to your big one? How are you handling already what you've been given? Are you grateful for it?
Mhm.
You know, are you grateful for it? And that's another big part of, am I grateful for what I have? Am I able to recognize the manifestations that are showing up? And am I at a vibration where I really truly will be able to call more of it in because I'm doing so well with what I've been given?
Yes.
Here's, here's another one. Think about. So let's say I have a lot of debt and I'm worried about it. And I'm worried about the debt and how I'm going to pay this. I'm never going to pay this off. It's almost as if it grows in our mind,
Yeah.
right? It's like I actually am like almost like vibrating in more debt. Okay. Well, let's say I'm really trying to manifest and just something happens and I get a bunch of money. Okay. And I have it and I pay off my debt and I'm feeling great and I'm never going to have that again. 6 months later, I'm all back in debt again. What's up with that? It's because I didn't handle, I wasn't able. I was asking the universe for money to help me pay things off. The universe gave it to me. I spent it all and I went right back into debt
Yeah.
because I haven't changed the mindset. So universe is not going to give me more. It's going to give me more of my debt.
Yep.
That's what's going to give me. It's not going to give me more cash flow if I just bring it in and let it flow right on out. So it's that type of thing on and on because everything is energy. So, of course, this can apply to our money, to our relationships, to our life's purpose.
Yep.
So I'm going to go for something. I know that's what I'm supposed to be doing, but I'm afraid. I'm afraid it won't be accepted. I'm afraid I can't do it. I'm afraid I'm not smart enough. I'm not good enough. And so I don't really go for it. Or I hold myself back. I let the fear stop me. Well, universe isn't going to deliver at that point then because I'm being tested and I'm actually like I'm not passing the
Yep.
test.
Yep.
I it's the whole more is given to you. You have greater responsibility to handle it. Becomes more energy you're managing then. Are you able to manage the energy that you've been given? If not, why are you asking for more then? That doesn't make sense. Actually, if that's the case and you're not getting because you're asking for too much, then maybe pay attention and clean up your vibration a little bit.
Yeah. And there's an evolution to manifestations, right? So I don't mean to suggest that you can get a manifestation. I'm in my own personal life right now. I felt like I got this major manifestation, right? And now I'm having feelings of I need to release that manifestation for something more, right? And this
Okay.
is something that happens too, is that you can vibrate yourself into something, feel what that vibration feels like, and then you can be right out of it if it's not what
Yeah.
is meant for you. And it doesn't mean that that wasn't something that also helped raise your vibration in the moment, right?
Yeah, it was meant for you. It was meant for you. It just fulfilled
Exactly,
its
because
purpose.
everything is meant for me.
Yeah.
Everything for me is meant for me. So just pay attention to moments of moments that you feel like you've won, right? And then you're there and you're like, oh, this is the manifestation, so I have to stick it out. I have to stay here because this is what I wanted and this is what I
Yes.
got. Okay, well, remember that you need to be very clear on what it is that you are asking for. And so if things, again, you feel like you got this manifestation, but things aren't quite perfect, aren't quite going the way that you thought, still don't settle for that just because you feel like it's a step up from where you were before, because that is you settling.
Yeah, that's so good. And even once you've gotten it, as you pointed out, everything changes. The
Yeah.
universe changes. We are a changeable universe. So don't think you're just going to sit there. That's not how it works. You're not going to just sit on the plateau and just like skate on that for the rest of your life. No, like our nature is to grow. Our
Yes.
nature is to grow. Everything on earth. Look
Hmm.
at the plants, look at the animals, look at humans. Like our nature is to grow. So our soul wants to grow also. So we always will want more. We will always want more. Even when we get what we want, it doesn't end. It doesn't, it's not like you get to a place and you're like, I have everything. I'm done.
Yep.
I'm done now. I mean, if that's the case, I mean, something's up. If you feel like there's not more to strive for somewhere, someplace, that's telling you something about yourself too.
Yes, and there's a
So
difference between being content with your life, right? I'm content with my life
yes.
as it is. I'm grateful for all that I have, and I still know that I have it's it's the passion, right? I have more
Yeah.
to give is what it really is. As soon as you feel as though you have nothing to actually give to the universe, to other people, to other things, to the planet, that's when you should maybe cue yourself to kind of check back in with yourself, check the to go bag, okay, and make a list of what's going on in your life. What do you have in there, your inventory, and what's working for
Yes.
you, what's not working for you. What are you settling for? What feels really good when you do it? What feels not so good when you do it? And those are the things that you can get really specific about then, and then start manifesting and co creating with the universe and asking for what it is you desire.
Yeah, great. So I'm going to look around my life and just, I know what feels off.
Yep.
I know where I have some wobbly vibrations. I know where I have some power leaks. I know I might not want to admit, and sometimes it's hard again to address those things. But that's what you do is you clean those little moments up. You, whatever that looks like. You know what I mean? Whether it is you make the apology, maybe you accept the forgiveness, maybe you move on from a relationship, maybe you somehow switch the energy up, your perception up, how you're thinking of it up, and somehow come to a point where you're okay with what it is in some way. Like you've accepted it, you've accepted the situation, and you see it for what it is, which everything is here for you. So if you can get to that, that's really helpful. If you can clean those little bits of your vibration up, those are the things that block your manifestations. Those are the signals that you send out that tells the universe something
Yep.
about you. So if I'm the radio station and I'm broadcasting out, this is what my signal is. If I have some signals that are connecting that just don't feel good, don't feel quite right,
And
then
you're worth
that's what it is. You're worth it.
you're worth it. And those
Yeah.
everything is temporary. So those uncomfortable moments between the times of the periods of growth, they're for you too. And you're worth that. You're worth that, okay? If we didn't want to feel discomfort, we would not have manifested back here as humans. It's
Yeah.
part of
Right.
the array of emotions that we've chosen to co-create with, okay? So, and when you start to feel discomfort, instead of oh shit, I'm feeling discomfort, how about oh wow, I'm about to start growing. Something major
Yeah.
is about to happen and I'm about to grow. How beautiful is that?
Yeah. So beautiful. I mean, a lot of times we'll let those temporary situations really knock us off our game.
Yeah.
And they're temporary, and that's the other thing we have to see in our lives. A lot of times it's those temporary situations we put a lot of focus in, and it's hard to pull back sometimes and get a little perspective, but when we can, then we can see it for what it is.
Yeah.
This is a lesson. This is a lesson. Sometimes these lessons hurt. Sometimes these lessons are hard. It doesn't have to be that way, but we're stubborn as humans. We're difficult. The people we're coping with are difficult to deal with. They don't know themselves either necessarily. So this
Yeah.
isn't an easy task necessarily, but super worth it. Super, super worth it. And I'll just say, when I've cleaned up my vibration in the past and I've said to myself, okay, I got to kick this thing out of my life, got to kick that situation, no more of that. I've I've been able to thrive.
Yeah.
I have been able to get what I wanted. I have been able to. I've changed my life. I've been like 4 different people. I've been able to completely shift my entire life around based on, okay, not that anymore. I'm going for something else. And I am relentless when I go for something. I am. And I go until I get it. And then once I get it, then I decide, do I want this still? Is this where I'm still going? Is this what I want to keep? Do I want to revise it? Do I want to keep going? Do I want to go further? Like, that's just the way, to me, I wanna live life full out like that.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ever sit back and just wait for things to occur to me. I'm gonna make it happen, and that's how we make our manifestations happen. It's
Yeah.
like willpower, it's emotion, it's co-creation with the universe, it's sending out
Trust.
the signal of what it is that I want. Universe can't help but respond.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has a lot to do with trust and surrender too.
Yeah,
The evolution of everything, no matter where I'm at in my divine plan, I trust that I'm there for an exact purpose. Nothing is an accident in my view, in my
right,
world. And so everything that's happening to me is here to teach me something so that I am able to grow. The evolution of your manifestations is like a story that you get to write. That's what I love so much about this podcast, right? Is because we right now are recording bits of time through our physical manifestations. We'll be able to come back, and this is like a time capsule of how we've changed and how just and how we're teaching, right? And so
for
the
sure.
evolution of the manifestation is the journey, is the point, is the whole entire thing, because like you said before, it's not like it ends. It's not like, okay,
Right.
on the 5th of March I'll have all my manifestations and then it's nothing. It's like, no, we are constantly growing, and you raise your consciousness, and then you raise your consciousness again, and then you raise your consciousness again, and that it just will continue like that if that's what you choose to do, of course.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cycle if you're willing to jump into it. Of course, we're all about the spiritual awakening. We are all about pushing the boundaries of our soul a little bit more to be able to grow just that much more. I feel like that's part of what we're doing here. So we can't let anything stop us with this. And it's so important to hold those boundaries. Really, really important to hold them and not ever compromise for anything or anyone. And, I have compromised in the past. We all have. We all have. We've all given up. We've all compromised. We've all settled and said, that's good enough. This will have to do. Um, but it's not something we have to do ever. We never have to settle. And I'm not talking about not compromising. I'm not, we got to co create. So sometimes there's compromises we got to make, but I'm not going to compromise the basic structure of what I'm trying to go for. I'm not going to compromise my morals, my ethics. I'm not going to compromise who I am to accommodate something else or some lesser manifestation of my belief
Yeah.
or of my reality that I'm trying to create. So it is building up your energy center to be able to keep going on this. Please see our last episode. We talked about the solar plexus and really your manifestation powers here. But also, as with a lot of things, a lot of this boils down to self worth and worthiness issues. And do I really deserve it? Can I really have it?
You deserve it all. I'm here to tell you. I'm the universe in human form, and I'm here to tell you that you are absolutely 100% worth it.
Yeah, you're worth it. You've got this. You have the ability to change anything and everything. Of course, we understand everyone has different circumstances, but your perception is here. You live up here, you
Mhm.
know, that little voice that you have that's giving you the constant commentary of what's happening. When we pay attention to what it says, when it starts to tell us things that don't serve us or don't bring us toward our manifestations, then we have to check it. We got to check that. That's another vibration that we have to pay attention to. So, again, when we really trying to speed those manifestations up, and it's not just the thing, remember, it's not just the money we're going for, it's not just the job, it's not just the relationship, it's how we feel when we're going to have it. And that's again part of it is going into your heart, going into your imagination, putting yourself into the space of I already have it.
Yeah.
But being uncompromising, unwilling to be or do anything less than that. And that's how we get there. That's how we get there a lot faster.
Yeah. Absolutely. It's quite the journey, isn't it? And it
Yeah.
feels like ups and downs sometimes. But that's what you have to do to get to the top of the mountain is go up and down a few times to get there.
That's really what it is.
Mhm.
So we just do our best, and everybody's doing their best at any given moment. Of course we are. Of
Yeah.
course we are. So, just to sort of recap kind of what we were saying overall, which is essentially, first of all, handle the manifestations you get. Don't settle for less and don't give up
Don't give
on
up.
yourself. Don't give up on your manifestations. Don't give up on your ability to have them. Don't give up on your love and your self love for yourself because it ties back to that every single time.
And here's your invitation to see discomfort as growth. Let's just replace discomfort with growth altogether, because
Yeah.
we get to decide how we live our lives and we are the creators. So, thank
Yes,
you
we
so
are.
much for listening to this video. I want to say that we are interested in doing a live Q&A session. So if that's something you'd be interested in, please leave a comment down below and we will be putting a poll out on our Instagram to see when would be a good time to do that for everybody. We would love to connect with you live. And you can find us on YouTube, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at Awaken with Alt Majority. It's such a pleasure to hold space and to be in this space with you.
Thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to having you with us next week.